Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. Smooth stop. And we're going to talk about this, guys. This is more important coming out of a turn. Smooth stop. The handlebars are moving. That means the bike is trying to fall. Friction zone is going to correct that. Smooth stop. All right, let's do it. Open. Close it. Good, 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 good. Keep it open, rear brake. Okay, so right now, your clutch is doing this. It's too much movement, okay? All right, and again, they're not gonna all be perfect, but this is just to show you what you need to work on, right? Smooth stop, friction zone, rear brake, all the way to the end. Good, good, good. Beautiful, Pete. Foot up, pull it in a little, pull it in a little. Good, friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. But yeah, again, that's what this exercise forces, discomfort. And as soon as it starts to get to near the end of the stop, he's ready to bail and put his foot down. That's why the brake is stopping abruptly, because he feels the fall. That exercise, well, first let me start out by saying, like I said before, your goal today is not to get everything. One of the goals is to get you to understand what you need to practice, right? And if you weren't smooth on that, you need to practice it, right? That is the bread and butter as far as I'm concerned. So whenever I have my private lessons and people come out and say, hey, Rob, I just need help with U-turns. I go, okay. We start with that. And sometimes I'm on that 2 hours. We never get to the U-turns. And that's the point. Everybody is jumping to the U-turns, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So a U-turn is scary only because people don't want to lean the bike. And why don't they want to lean the bike? Because that feeling of falling is overwhelming them. That's why we got to get accustomed to the feeling, and that gets you accustomed. So if you were coming to the end of that stop and doing that, or feeling like you have to stop quick because you feel falling, we need to normalize that feeling of falling, because we know this is the answer, right? Clearly we're going to preload first, 3 comes before 4, right? And so literally, guys, in that exercise, you could literally do that exercise dragging the rear brake from the start to the finish, and your handlebars never getting crazy, because you're in the friction zone the whole time, but you're dragging the brake the whole time. Friction zone, friction zone. Let me show you. And some of you guys were doing the whole, I'm going to start out fast and then slow down, and that's why the stop is abrupt. You're creating something that you don't need to have. We don't need speed. I understand why you're doing it, because that's how you've been riding for whoever knows how long. Speed always gives you comfort. We don't need speed, we just need power. First gear, cover the rear brake, reload. As soon as I pick my foot up, rear brake, friction zone, rear brake, friction zone, rear brake, rear brake. Listen to the preload. Listen to the preload. Trust and believe. I'm gonna keep my clutch in one spot. Rear brake, rear brake. Look at the clutch hand, rear brake. Friction zone, smooth stop. Remember the stages. If I'm in stage 1 or stage 2 of the friction zone, I can just stay there. Now I'm gonna use the brake to control what's going on. So when you see me stop the motorcycle and I'm not moving at all, I'm still in the friction zone, but I'm letting the brake hold the bike back. At that low of a stage, it's fine. And some of you guys, I'm looking at your clutch hand, it's moving too much. Remember, find the spot right before where it bites and go right before it. Live there. Now, if you need to make movements, they're like this. So of course, if you're trying to do something like that, such a refined movement, this is not going to be any good, right? The bike's all over the place.